Over the years in high school basketball, there's been a ton of overrated players, and one of those players we associate with being overrated is Kyree Walker. For some reason, everybody just thinks he's overrated. However, if we dive into the details and the stats, he might just be underrated. Most people in life just follow whatever the crowd is saying and doing. If there's a lot of people saying a certain player is overrated, they're just gonna go along with it so they can fit in. And for some odd reason, it's just a very popular opinion to say Kyrie Walker is overrated. And I really didn't think too much about this. But just recently I saw a post that said Kyrie Walker might actually be underrated. So it really had me thinking, is this guy more underrated than overrated? And before we get into this video, just have an open mind. Don't come into it thinking he's overrated, just hear me out. And with all this being said, let's jump straight into the video. Well, first thing is first, when Kyrie Walker was growing up, he completely dominated middle school basketball. He was bigger, stronger, faster, and just overall way better than the competition. And for those reasons, this was why he was regarded as the #1 overall player for many years. And he actually kept that #1 spot for a very long time. And he earned this #1 spot, it wasn't just given to him. He was just way ahead of his time. When he was only in 8th grade, he was throwing down crazy dunks. And around that same time, this was when he was really getting all the hype. And it really didn't die off for a while. When he was a freshman, he maintained the hype. For his freshman year, starting on his varsity team, he averaged a remarkable 21.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Those numbers speak for themselves. He had an outstanding year. And this year was good enough to earn him the Max Preps National Freshman of the Year. So at this point in time, he was still getting a lot of hype and things couldn't be any better for Kyrie Walker. However, this is where our story takes a drastic turn. Going into his sophomore year, he wound up transferring to Hillcrest Prep. And a lot of people think he got worse because he lost his #1 spot, but that just wasn't the case. He was still putting up crazy good numbers, it's just that the competition he was going up against got better as well. When he was middle school, he was taller and bigger and way better than all of his opponents. But eventually in high school, some of his opponents even caught up to him and passed him in the rankings. And it has nothing to do with Kyrie Walker being overrated, they were just better basketball players than him. So in his sophomore and junior year, this is when everybody was saying, oh, he's overhyped. And I don't even know why that was being said because that was not the case. For his sophomore year, in 31 games played, he averaged 25 points per game. Not only that, he also pitched in 8.3 assists, 8.7 rebounds, and 2.7 steals. But since he was falling in the rankings, everyone was just like, yo, he's overrated, he didn't deserve the hype. And me personally, I only feel like people were even saying that is because people love when somebody at top falls off. I don't know why, but for some reason, people love to hate on other people at the top. And this was a perfect example of that. And another thing I want to touch on, I don't think you guys quite understand how hard it is to be the #1 overall player in the country. Not the #1 player in your state, the #1 overall player. Each and every night you go out there, everybody's giving you their best shot. And one thing a lot of people don't even realize was that Kyrie Walker was getting doubled and even triple teamed some games. And he still put up 25 points each and every night. But according to a lot of people, he's quote unquote overrated. But I can see why some of these people did say he was overrated because of this one thing. He was regarded as a 5-star recruit almost his entire life. However, as he started growing up, he actually lost that 5th star and went to a 4-star recruit. So we just automatically think he's falling off and he was at one time overrated. But like I've stated multiple times in this video, his competition just passed him, he didn't get worse. So going into his junior year, for a guy that was now being looked at as overrated, he had something to prove. And he did not disappoint whatsoever. He averaged 30 points per game, 6 assists, and 11 rebounds. But since he lost that #1 spot in that 5-star ranking, people are like, I don't care what he's doing, he was overrated. Here's one argument that I'm going to make and you guys cannot disagree. Numbers never lie. They don't, they never lie. The stats are always right. So there's no way, if you're watching this video right now and you just saw the numbers I put up on the screen, you can say he's overrated. Well, let me change that. I guess you can technically say he's overrated, but I'm gonna tell you this, you're wrong. So you want to tell me a guy who averaged 30 points per game, which is crazy impressive itself, but also pitched in 6 assists and 11 rebounds is overrated? Yeah, alright, I'ma head out. After you get done watching this video, if you think Kyrie Walker is still overrated, you're just brainwashed and you're a follower. You're not independent. Oh yeah, I know I said it once, but let me emphasize it. He put up these numbers as just a junior. But for some reason, in his senior season, this is when everybody was like, yo, he's overrated, and it had nothing to do with his game. Before his senior season even got going, he announced he was going to transfer from Hillcrest Prep. But he actually didn't even transfer, he just sat out the entire year. So obviously, since he's not playing high school basketball, and all the other top recruits are, everyone's going to forget about him. And he did fall in the rankings just a little, but that was all due to the fact that he wasn't getting to go out there and prove himself. And once again, this is when all the fanboys are like, yo, he's overrated, man, he fell off. off. But guys, that's not the case. He didn't even play. As a sophomore, he put up 25 points per game. As a junior, he put up 30. I can almost guarantee you as a senior, he was going to put up at least 30 once again. And most people thought for sure he was going to go to college and try to prove himself and not go to the G League or the NBA, but he actually shocked everybody. He wound up announcing he was going to forego college basketball and train for his pro career. And this is what he had to say about it. I know it surprised some people. The development that I wanted to have to get ready for the draft, it would have been different from others. I felt like if I went to college, I wouldn't have that same development. I just want to get ready for 82 games. But if he would have chose to college, he actually did announce which college he would have went to. Quote unquote, I would have gone to Memphis. Penny Hardaway is a player's coach. He played in the league and was a point guard himself. I would have played the point and I would have made the tourney. Those aren't exactly humble words from Kyrie Walker, but I love the confidence. And here's the thing, I know a lot of people have forgotten about this guy, but do not sleep on him because I can almost guarantee you he's tired of all the hate. And he does not need any more fuel to his fire because he definitely hears it. And here's what he had to say about him quote unquote falling off. I just have to work 100 times harder than everybody else. I'm all in with the decision. I just have to work harder than everyone else. I'm gonna make this work. So will Kyrie Walker shock everyone and make it to the NBA? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the argument for saying this kid was overhyped is just not valid. This kid is not overhyped. He's still a great basketball player. It's just some people were better than him and jumped him in the rankings. So, with all this being said, the question is, will Kyrie Walker shut everyone up, including the haters, doubters, and all the critics? Or will he prove that they're actually right and he is quote unquote overrated? But hey man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you are new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.